Hey guys, today we're going to be installing Leopard on this beautiful eMac. Now this is an eMac that I paid a whopping $28 for. And that was shipped too. So I bought this on eBay. It's in okay condition. This is like the mid model. It's got the 1 gigahertz G4. I believe it's a 7450E model, or whatever one has the built-in Velocity engine. It's got the 17-inch CRT display. Runs at anywhere from 640 by 480 to I believe up to 1280 by 960. And of course it's a CRT, so you've got the benefit of a super high refresh rate. And the screen, honestly, for being as old as it is still in pretty good condition. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna toss Leopard on this puppy. We're gonna see how well it handles Leopard with 512 megabytes of RAM. And if it doesn't handle it well at all, then we're gonna go ahead and put more RAM in it. Now, to complicate things, we're going to be installing Leopard off of a flash drive because guess what? I don't have any DVDs. This DVD drive does work, but I don't have any DVDs, and I don't have any rereadables either. So, alright, so let's go ahead and power it on. We're going to check out software that's on it right now. There we go. We'll see how it fares when we actually get into the operating system. Okay, so yeah, the PRAM battery is dead. That's okay though. So I've previously played around with this before. As you can see, we've got a 1 gigahertz PowerPC G4, 512 megabytes of SD RAM, and this is identified as a PowerMac 4,4, eMac 1 gigahertz graphics. It's got an ATI Radeon 7500 in it with 32 megabytes of VRAM, about 75 gigs, probably about 80 if it's not formatted. And right now this is running Tiger 10411 build. Looks like 8S165. So I've been using this machine mostly for playing some old games, even some old emulators actually. Like, let's go ahead and run Genesis emulator. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna boost up the volume on this for a second. Currently not detecting the controller, no surprise there, but these speakers sound really awesome. Try this again, this time with controller support. We're just gonna go ahead and play Act 1 so you can see how it runs. Not necessarily the perfect Sega Genesis experience. Of course, nothing compares to real hardware, but you know what? All things considered, it's pretty good. So the other thing I've been playing around with is some classic Mac OS 9 games. So let me see real quick. Put up SimCity 1.2. Unfortunately, this machine can't natively run Mac OS 9 because this model technically can run it, but this is configured with the SuperDrive, so the SuperDrive models actually can't run it. So if I come over here, you can actually see the RWCD model. That means it's the Super. Let's go ahead and switch to 256 color mode. You guys can experience Mac OS 10 in 256 color mode, and it's ugly. So go ahead and hide the dock real quick. I don't know what I'm looking at right now. Let me see. Oh my god, I don't know what this is. I don't know what I'm looking at. But yeah, that's a Mac OS 9 game running. And then of course occasionally I'll go ahead and I'll run a few Mac OS 9 apps like Adobe Illustrator. It's a Mac OS 9 app. Well, this version at least. There's a couple old apps on here actually I find pretty interesting. I believe there's an old version of iMovie also. Okay, so maybe there's not as much interesting Mac OS 9 stuff, but nonetheless. Oh, that was pretty slow. So here's Adobe Illustrator, my favorite of the Adobe programs actually, and it runs pretty similar to how it does today. It's nice. It's purple. Right here. And no stroke. Just like that, no stroke. Actually, I'm not reading on this. So I'm going to select it. Green. Yeah, just select green. There we go. You want to select color stops. We'll make that here. Should not do that. I don't know why it's not making that. Why is here? What's the brush on this one? So yeah, on here, drag. Just go ahead and drag. Yeah, drag them on you. Yeah, there we go. So now it should be. Now it should be able to. Actually, you don't want to keep this. I'm going to drag this on here. Yeah. When you do the right select tool, and then manipulate points in real time. I'm actually pressing all those in class mode. Yeah, I only got there selecting points. Bring this in here. Now we can save this. Just save it as that. Okay. Alright, and now I can quit out of here and actually open it in the Mac OS X native version of Adobe Illustrator. So I've got Adobe Illustrator CS right here, the first version of the Creative Suite. I believe the Creative Suite was actually the first version to support Mac OS X. It's an educational version, that's what I find interesting. And that flickering that you're seeing in the camera is not noticeable in real life. And it took a little while to start up. Let's open the document. And here it is in native Cocoa, hopefully Cocoa, probably Carbon, Mac OS X. The reason we're here is not to play with old legacy Mac apps. We're here because we're gonna put Leopard on this. I haven't ran Leopard in a ridiculously long time. The process of putting this on a PowerPC Mac via USB is a little complicated, but I'm gonna show you how I did it. And the steps are gonna be pretty similar, but I'm gonna note where it deviates. Alright, so here we are on a modern Mac. This is one running High Sierra. So I've got my USB flash drive in there right now. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna pop open Disk Utility. Right now it's got a Snow Leopard DVD on there. Alright, so we're going to be focusing on Leopard in this video. So the first thing you need to do actually is select the actual device in Disk Utility. So as you can see here, partition map is currently set to GUID partition map. That's no good. Since this is a PowerPC Mac, it's going to need to be running APM or Apple Partition Map. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up to Erase. We're just going to keep this as Untitled for now, and we're going to keep the format as Extended Journaled. We're going to change scheme to Apple Partition Map, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to erase. Alright, so that's the first step of it done, and as you can see, if we come here, it's now saying Apple Partition Map. That's good, that's the first step. So while PowerPC Macs can read GUID, they just can't boot off GUID. So in order to boot, they need Apple Partition Map, which is why we're formatting this here. So the next step is going to be after my Leopard image finishes downloading. So God knows how long that's going to take. Alright, so now that our install DVD has been downloaded, as you can see, we're looking at it right here, 7.2 gigs. Now, here's the interesting part. Now we can come over here, and the key actually is to have the virtual partition over here selected when you go to do this. I'm going to zoom out a little bit so you guys don't get that. You need to have this selected, actually go up to Edit, and then hit Restore. And then now this is going to come over and it's going to ask you, would you like to restore Untitled? Yes, I would. So Untitled will be erased and replaced with the data on the volume selected below. So you're going to pick Image, and then you're going to have a pop-up come up, and it's going to ask you for the image. I'm going to go with this right here. Also, in case you didn't know, you can actually come and drag files from Finder into the selector, and it'll select them for you. So we're going to hit Choose. We're going to hit Restore. Image needs to be scanned. Just gonna do that real quick. Now, the reason why we actually selected this partition right here instead of just this whole disk, if we select this whole disk, it's gonna get reformatted as probably GUID. By selecting this actual partition, it's gonna format it or keep the format as APM. So we're all set there. I'm just gonna let this do its thing. It's gonna take a long time. So not a long time, but you know. So we'll be back. It's done. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna eject this real quick. Okay, so now we're gonna come over. Come on back. Let's see, does it show up or not? Yes, it shows up. Okay, so let's, hey, don't do that. Do not do that. So let's double check now. Go utilities and then disk utility. And if we come over here, Oh god, I forgot how to info. Apple partition scheme, there we go. Alright, so now, and hey look, there's actually Leopard folder icons, that's pretty cool. But okay, so we're gonna go ahead, yes, please don't beep at me. We're gonna restart the computer actually. We're gonna boot into Open Firmware, so when we're restarting we need to hold the Command, Option, and OF keys on the keyboard. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit restart, and then I'm gonna hold the keys like shown. I'm gonna hold off on that for a second. Okay, so I'm holding the keys. It's a good start. And there we go, we're now in Open Firmware. I hope that you guys will be able to see everything okay. Let me see if I can't readjust. So hopefully, yeah, everything will be able to be seen okay. So this is the first part where it deviates a little bit. So you're going to have to run this command. You need to type dev/ls. And this is gonna run through everything. So it's gonna stop about halfway through, and it basically fills the screen right now, but I already know because I've done this before. So this is this PCI /F2 bunch of zeros. That's going to be the root device. You'll see why we need to take note of that in a second. And then underneath that is, see, this is where it gives you more information. So we've got the PCI, and then underneath that is USB at 18. This is not what we need because it's got hub, keyboard, device, all that. That's not what we need. What we need is USB at 19 because this has a disk. This disk at 1 means that it actually reads the Apple partition map on the USB. So that's what we need to take note of. After that, what we're going to do is we're going to kind of make a shortcut. So we're going to do dev alias UD. I think so, anyway. So we're going to do dev alias space UD. So that UD stands for USB device. We're going to do /root. So that's, for me, it's PCI at F2 1 2 3 4 5 6 zeros. Then it's going to be /USB. So we're going to looking at this device now. So this is USB at 18. And then it's going to be disk at 1, which is underneath USB. Or I'm sorry, it's not USB at 18, it's USB at 19. Like that. I should say okay. So now what we've done is instead of having to write this full address right here, we can now just type UD, and it's basically a shortcut to this address. It's like an alias if you're familiar with that in Mac OS. So now we're going to check the directory, make sure it reads okay, and yep, it's reading okay because you can see it's loading everything that's on the disk right now. So we've got it's got the instructions, it's got the install Mac OS X app right there. Boot. What we're looking for now in here is actually it's called Boot X. Now, if you're trying to do Tiger or an older operating system, it's going to be right on here. So you'll just be able to type boot USB device :3, /boot X, like that. Or if you happen to see it's in another folder, you could do folder boot X, like that. But since this is Leopard, we're going to have to type system, library, core services, boot X, like that. And it's loading. Woo! We're now loading Leopard on the eMac. I'll be right back when it's booted. So actually, because the eMac, this particular model, only has USB 1.1, it's actually slower booting off USB than it is off DVD. But I'm not too worried about installation speed. It's really just the convenience of not having to go out and buy a DVD and try and download and burn off this model, which is my only Mac with a DVD drive right now, and it's 32-bit and only runs Snow Leopard. Installer's booted. That actually didn't take as long as I thought it was. So we're just gonna run through this installer real quick. Now the only thing that sucks about Leopard is that we're gonna lose our ability to run Classic app, but whatever, it's Leopard. Actually, I'm gonna see if I can't partition real quick. I've never seen Leopard on a CRT before. Oh yes! And I'm gonna give the rest, this is gonna be for HT. No volumes will be erased. Thank God, it wouldn't let me do this in the Tiger installer. What? This is Mac OS. Look. That is what it is. The answer may actually lie in terminal, so we're going to see. Oh my god, why are there so many partitions? So it's disk 0 S9, so we're going to disk-util enable journal /dev /disk 0 S9. Unable to find. What? Disk-util. Not disk-util. Can't actually use the delete key. Ooh. Okay. So now we'll disk-util enable journal /volume /Macintosh HD. Journaling was already enabled. Okay. So why can't I resize it then? I'm gonna give it one more shot. Yep, I give up. I'm done. No more. Alright, we're just gonna install Leopard over Tiger and probably lose a bunch of Mac OS 9 stuff, but it's okay. It's okay. I'll figure it out eventually. Yeah, that's fine. Whatever. Options. We're gonna upgrade Mac OS. Nope, we're gonna upgrade Mac OS. We're gonna customize. So that means it's gonna come with all the crust and check printer drivers. Gonna leave X11. So we're gonna install. And we're gonna install Leopard right over Tiger. Because I don't care. So I just finished getting ready to go to work. And it's literally probably actually going to take about another hour for this to install. And I have to leave in a half hour. So yeah. If you have a USB 1.1 Mac, like this one, USB is definitely not going to be your preferred way to install Mac OS, but you're going to do it because you don't have much of a choice like I did. So, yeah, you definitely want to set aside a sizable chunk of your day to allow this to install off USB. DVD is definitely the best way, or hard drive even. Firewire would have been better. Okay, so now 2 days later, I'm finally actually getting a chance to do the first boot after installing Snow Leopard. So there we go. So this is now the first boot of Leopard, like I said, since I installed it. That means we unfortunately get to experience the intro song, which I actually just did already. I was busy putting Snow Leopard on this guy. Snow Leopard on here, Leopard on here. Oh, we don't have to go through a video. Oh, thank God. Well, I'm not even gonna bother with the setup assistant then. I say that's pretty good. It looks like we just kind of tossed a theme over top of Tiger, except now we get all the added benefits. Maybe they can get rid of that. I'm gonna give it a second to wake up. All right, so let's see how far behind we are. 10.5.6. Yeah, that's not too bad. So I'm gonna go ahead and set this up how I like it. Just so I can think, whoa, that is choppy. I definitely already see myself regretting this. Then again, I think it's still indexing, so maybe I should give it a minute to index. Look at these candy script bars. Let's see if the buttons on the keyboard work now. No. Oh wait, yeah they do. Okay. I know they don't work at all in Tiger. That is the special action keys on the flat Apple keyboard like this. Is good as all I have laying around. While I've not used the Leopard in a while, I've actually never used it on a CRT before. Wow, that's crazy smooth. That's because the refresh rate buttons look like candy. That's slow. That's pretty much what I remember. Let's do a little bit of cover flow action here. Yeah, I'm used to cover flow being so smooth. This is awesome. Not really. See, I don't really use cover flow anyway. I don't really use column view either, so let's see. This means we also get access to some updated browsers, so let's go ahead and do an internet connection real quick. This should also finally remember. Yeah, it does remember my Wi-Fi stuff. Nice. This is when they still call it airport too. So let's go ahead and hop on Safari real quick. I wonder, is this version of Safari actually working? Because I know the one in Tiger doesn't work too well. Yeah, I don't think this version actually works. Whoa, hello, that's not what I was expecting, but okay. Go with a grid. Is this space too small for a grid?
No, it's not. Oh. Oh, that's because this has more than... Oh, I see. I gotcha. Yeah, maybe that is the best option then. Before they let you drill into folders and before they added scrolling to the stacks, I guess. I don't know. God, it's been so long since I've used Leopard. Yeah, I can ping Google okay. Yeah, I guess it's just that version. Whoa, can we not do that? I'm gonna go ahead and disable corners. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take a screenshot. First order of business, what does actually happen when you try to open a classic application? Is it just say classic environment is no longer supported? Let's see what's carbonized. Is Illustrator 9 carbonized, or is this a classic app? Yeah, these are all classic apps. Dang. Well, at least they all got kind of preserved. I should be able to take these two folders and back them up and still be able to keep a lot of stuff. So let's see what does and doesn't work. Office X. I guess it's supposed to be Office for 10. In the meantime, let me freeze the computer by trying to open a browser and Word at the same time. That's first world problems. God, Leopard still holds up in terms of looks though. I think Leopard and Snow Leopard are definitely the best looking, in my opinion. But honestly, the modern versions aren't too bad. But I mean, like, I'd hope that I'd like them, considering the fact that I'm actually using modern versions over there. Okay, so the whole purpose behind me doing this was because I was gonna go ahead and do this. Still, my worst install of Leopard had to have been on a 12-inch PowerBook G4. That was pretty abysmal. This is more usable. Let's see. Low-end Mac. Also, do I even want to know the speed of this drive? Probably something ridiculous like 5400 RPM. Part of the reason the PowerBook G4 was so bad on Leopard was because it had that 4200 RPM drive. Oh. Trash! This ain't too hot either though. Then again, I only have 2 bars of Wi-Fi. I'm indexing, and I'm pretty sure Word is up now. It's a very ugly version of Word. I saw about 2 frames of that. It's old and ugly, but hey. Whoa, what was that for? Why? Why does this make sounds? Trash! I mean, I guess I could do my entire paper. Oh my god. I can't believe that it actually made sounds. I can't believe it actually makes sounds when you do that. Get out of my face. Don't save. Still trying to reach out to the worldwide community there. I'm still trying to make contact. Oh look, there's me on the top. Alright, let's make contact. Oh, is it? Oh, I have to actually go into the group, that's why. Okay. Me not remembering how to use Facebook. Why is this here? Whoa. Wow, God, this is slow. 10.4 Fox is off. Beautiful. Trash! Am I not allowed to? Oh no, it's just kind of broken. What is the frame rate on the desktop? It's pretty low. Well, at least now I can appreciate the looks more because I'm having to look at it for longer because it's slow. This is gonna take forever. Hey, look, here's our AI 9 document with did they have that in Leopard or was that Snow Leopard they had? No, yeah, we had, yeah, and I can actually look at it. Post something good now. No, I better make that comment saying that I know Tiger's the most optimal OS before somebody tries to tell me that. It's just somebody already sniped me to it anyway. Okay, thank God. Okay, so now, what do I do most with this eMac in my limited time of owning it? Well, I play emulators. I feel like I still see pinstripes. Like, just do you see it? It's like when you look at it, when you look at OS X on here long enough and you see pinstripes, you start to see them everywhere by default. Emulators. This time we're gonna go with TurboGrafx 16 because I'm in a TurboGrafx mood. Kind of want to play some Devil's Crush. But I better turn the yeah, there we go. So maybe later, maybe one day. Double click on it recently. How did I recently play TurboGrafx 16? That's the name of it? Yeah, that's what I thought. Oh, Nice, so it's trying to play an entire folder. Congratulations, you played yourself. And one of the awesome things that they added in, I believe, Tiger or Leopard is the fact that you can actually have the open dialogue follow or whatever style you want. It's innovation right there. So I happen to like lists. I got so used to icon view on Windows XP back in the day that when I finally started using Windows 7 in like 2012, I was kind of turned off by the detail view, but now it's like I love the detail view. That's what I use on like even Mac OS today. I barely use cover flow, even if it's like a mix of both. All right, let's suck at some R-Type. Ooh, that's choppy. Yeah, that's pretty bad. This is like 30 FPS every 2 seconds. This machine really doesn't need a RAM upgrade though. I need to toss that other stick in there. Well, the slow motion kind of makes the game easier to play at least. Doesn't mean I'm better at it. Oh, I just realized I missed. Oh, right into the ground I go. Okay, so now let's turn off spotlight indexing. Actually, before we do that, let's test what I originally played on Tiger before upgrading. Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Why can't I full screen it? Oh, did it reset some of my settings? Oh, I think it did reset some of my settings. Why can't I? Okay. Not that it matters much, because this is still pretty bad. Let's go ahead and disable Spotlight, the entire root directory, and boom, that should free up some resources. Let's go ahead and check out Activity Monitor real quick. It's still running really sluggishly, but again, that's because it's Leopard. Oof, that V size though on Finder, oh my god. Let's try again on the TurboGrafx emulator. Oh yeah, this is a lot smoother. Yes, disabling Spotlight really helped with that. And again, this version of Leopard isn't even fully updated. Yeah, I'm bad at this game. Okay, so one last thing I want to check is this top menu bar is not transparent. Yeah, there's no option for it. I guess this GPU doesn't support all the advanced Leopardy stuff. Dang, I didn't know that. I don't know then.
We'll zoom frame to end the video. Alright, so that's Leopard on the eMac. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next whatever project we do.